So since I started doing these videos, you've sent me various accounts of how the harm that Watchtower has done has been devastating. So I would like to look into some of the types of harm done by Watchtower, and we might just have a look at the cause of the problem. So we'll start with child abuse. Now, others have dealt with this very well, so I'll just look at it briefly. First of all, Watchtower didn't believe the child, they didn't allow them to go to the police, and so on and so forth. Now, I believe there's a lot of arrogance and pride in this, in that they believed they could deal with situations which were absolutely dire. They had no discernment of the effects of the abuse on the child. They also ignored the scriptures, in that God has his ministers on earth to deal with crimes. The Christian congregation was never meant to deal with those sort of things, but Watchtower believes that they're going to rule the world one day, so they want to do it now. So they ignore professional advice, they ignore the expertise from professionals, and think that they can deal with it themselves, and they can't. They are not competent to deal with it, and should never be trying to do so. Now, we also have the problem of children being thrown out of the home at an early age. Now, every situation is different, so I can't give a blanket account of how people are affected, but I know that some have been traumatized by being thrown out of the home with no help. Now, we might just have a quick look at the prodigal son illustration for the moment. It's in Luke 15 if you want to read it. This child was given his inheritance. He had the means to support himself before he left home. Yes, he squandered it. But in the end, when he humbled himself, he realized he could go back to his father. But in this situation, in the modern day, the child who is thrown out of the home can't go back to the family, because the family will not discuss things with him. They will not take telephone calls. Watchtower has refused to allow the parents to help in any situation whatsoever. Watchtower has ignored the scriptural spirit of things. They don't know our God. In Matthew 5, it says that God makes it rain upon the righteous and the unrighteous. He makes the sun shine upon the righteous and the unrighteous, in the hopes that one day they'll appreciate it and come back to him. But Watchtower doesn't follow that example. No, they've taken a harsh, unreasonable stance, in that parents are to have no contact with their children whatsoever. They've taken away parental authority, and they've done it unscripturally, and it's arrogance again, thinking that they know better. So then we come to false accusations. Imagine a child and at home feeling fairly safe, and the elders behind the scenes have trumped up charges against this child, and they turn up at the house already believing that the child is guilty, without discussing the matter with the child, without allowing the child to defend himself or herself. Now, parents, if you find yourself in that situation, do not allow the elders to talk to your child. If you wish to speak to the elders yourselves, well, you have obviously you can do that to find out what the situation is. But if you discover that the accusations are false, then do your best to stop the elders from what they're doing. But if they won't stop, I recommend that you take them to court. Obviously, you must make up your minds yourselves as to what you do in your situation. But a child can be traumatized by false accusations, by the thought that he's going to be left without any friends, to be to have his reputation ruined by elders. A child cannot cope with that. Now, dear ones, I can't deal with all the types of harm in one video, so I'll leave it for another time to go into the other types of harm that you've sent me, and I do appreciate it, and be assured that I'm thinking of you in my prayers, because your lives have been made very difficult. But it's caused by arrogance, pride, ignoring the scriptures, incompetence on the part of elders who believe that they're capable of dealing with matters that even professionals have difficulty with. So I'll leave it at that for this morning, but thank you for watching.